Hey, what's up, guys? Jason Todd here. Um, I just wanted to talk to you guys today about how I ran my Restoration Druid. This is for raid heals, so if you're not interested in raid healing, then this video is probably not for you. But this is specifically raid heals, on how Restoration Druid is ran in my opinion. So, right here, I'm going to go through each passive effect, because that's what helps me determine which way to go in my tree. So this one right here, Mastery of Harmony. Your healing is increased by 25% for each of your Restoration Heal over time effects on a single target. So I'm pretty sure the 25% is affected by my Mastery. So, Mastery is good for Harmony. And it says right here, Mastery, so 25% of heal over time effects specifically. So in my first choice, Cenarian Ward is another heal over time effect, which would boost this. So this I only cast on tanks because you only get one of them. You can't pop multiple on whoever. I'm pretty sure, because it's a 30-second cooldown. Between that 30 seconds, they're gonna get hit. So I usually pop this on the tank. And the reason I chose it over Abundance, most of you guys would probably choose Abundance, but in my opinion, I would choose Cenarian Ward because of the Mastery effect. The Abundance, the reason I don't choose it is because for each of your rejuvenations you have active, the cast time of Healing Touch is reduced by 10%, and the critical effect chance of regrowth is increased by 10%. Now, whether you choose it for the Healing Touch or the regrowth, it really doesn't matter, because you would have to get rejuvenation on a lot of people for this to actually mean anything. So for anything that would, I mean, you might have germination, but we'll get to that later. You might have two rejuvenations on one person, but whether you're running a 5-man or a 25-man, that's still a lot of unnecessary mana or casting that you don't need to do. You could just pop Cenarian Ward, and then be good to go. You get that extra 25% based on how many hots you have up. I normally run with one rejuvenation on however many people I can, and then if there's something that pops up, then I'll probably Wild Growth or Regrowth or Healing Touch, or run through the stuff. But Cenarian Ward is my choice over Abundance. I wouldn't have time to rejuve everybody and then, start healing. That didn't make any sense. I chose Renewal here because, right here it's all just preference. If you would much rather go for the mobility and rather than the self-heal, but it's all based on preference. As a healer, I pay attention to all of the people in the raid group as well as the mechanics. And if you have a hard time doing mechanics, then by all means, I take Displacer Beast or Wild Charge or something like that. They all have their uses, but I choose Renewal because I don't want to have to escape and then heal myself, then target somebody else, and then heal them or whatever. I'd much rather just pop that Renewal, keep healing who I'm healing. I don't have a problem with recognizing the raid mechanics. This third tier level 45, I would choose the Balance Affinity. Some people would choose the Guardian Affinity, but I chose the Balance because it increases the range of all your abilities. I don't ever use Moonkin, Star Surge, or Lunar Strike. I don't DPS. I just heal. I focus on healing. That's what I'm there to do. So I heal. I use the Balance Affinity to increase the range of all my spells. So I don't have to be running back and forth. This guy's out of range, that guy's not, I'd try to just stick in one spot, heal. So far, I'm only going through the heal over time effects, not really the regrowth. I'm not going over that. I'm not going over efflorescence. So, okay, so specific, let me expand on that. Okay, so my healing is 25%. So that means that every hot that I have active, it increases my healing by 25%. So, um, rejuvenation, regrowth, life bloom. I'm not sure if efflorescence affects that, but Cenarian ward. You know, you want to have as many hots as possible. So that's why I chose Cenarian ward. That's why I chose half the stuff that I did. But the 60 tier, you know, you choose whatever you want. You know, I've never had to use the 60 tier in a raid fight, so you know, if you want to Typhoon the Fire Lord, or not the Fire Lord, but like, you know, the Fire people, the Fire dudes or whatever, that's your choice. Most people stun them. I'm not, you know, focused on stunning, you know, whatever. 75 tier. Anything is viable in this tier, but I would choose the Incarnation, because the Incarnation, it would all just depend on your type of healing. If you're like set in a raid where you have to heal all the tanks, you have to heal, you know, just the DPS. You know, you're just a freelance fucking healer or something. Excuse my language, but you have to freelance. You know, I normally just raid heal, and so if we don't have assignments, we just heal whoever's there. You know what I mean? So, Incarnation, Tree of Life. It would just depend, because like I pug a lot. I work weekends, and that's when we raid is weekends, and so I have to work weekends. So when I run my raids, I pug a lot, and I know that in pugs, not a lot of people are smart, you know, whatever. A lot of people stand in the fire, you know, get hit, they're too close, they're in front of the boss, they're doing whatever they want to do rather than doing so Incarnation, Tree of Life is for that. You know, when that moment hits where everybody's life goes down, Tree of Life, Tranquility. You know, Cultivation is also a good choice. If you want that extra heal to affect your mastery, that would be good too. But I go Tree of Life for the pugs. In my regular raids, I go Cultivation if I'm running with my raid. But I mainly stay in Tree of Life. I will recap on that too, because there's other combos that you might try out and stuff that might be viable, but most of the time I'm Cultivation with my raid specifically. Germination is the only viable choice that I would have in a raid. I mean, the Spring Blossoms, those are okay, I guess, but not as much as Germination. Germination gives you an extra hot that increases your mastery yet again by 25%. So, I would not do double rejuve on like a DPS or something, only when he's like below 60%. Would I do that? Or if I'm just standing there and everybody's good to go, I would, you know, go again for the rejuvenations. But if you double rejuve on one person, you're wasting money, you're wasting time, you're wasting, you know, all that healing that you could be doing versus just one rejuve, go to the next, one rejuve, go to the next, one rejuve, go to the next. You know, because you're healing 25 people, I would assume. Other than the healers themselves, they can take care of themselves unless someone's actually about to die. This last tier right here, again, this would depend on what you're doing. I would normally go Flourish, because that extends the duration of all your heals. So you pop rejuve, pop your life bloom, pop your ward, regrowth even, and then Flourish, and then it increases the duration of them. You could also combo that with your Essence of Gahanir. You know, pop this, pop that, you know, healing twice as fast but for longer. So it's like, you know, these two in combo with each other are really good. Now I wouldn't put down any of these other ones, because this one I would use in Battlegrounds, but we're talking raid specifically. But if you wanted to come over here to do the moment of clarity with your Tree of Life, with your or no, yeah. So with your Tree of Life, Moment of Clarity with Tree of Life would be, a pretty good choice as well. I haven't done it, I haven't tested it, but theoretically, it would work because over here you have your Omen of Clarity. Okay, your healing over time from Life Bloom has a 4% chance to cause the clear casting state. So that's a 4% chance. Okay, this gives your regrowths a 15% to your healing. So it's 4% across the board. Um, you pop your incarnation, your regrowths are free. This triggers, you pop your incarnation, regrowths are free. Those 3 regrowths for 15% more healing, free. You know what I mean? Um, it's like, it's all just based on preference, to be honest with you. But I normally run with the Flourish because that really connects well with my Gahanir, and it's instant cast. I don't have to pop my Tree of Life when I don't have to, and stuff like that. When I am in Pugs, though, I do go Moment of Clarity and the Tree of Life because I don't trust people with their own staying alive. It's my job. I have to keep them alive. But yeah, I never cast Regrowth and I never cast Healing Touch unless the regrowths are instant. The healing touches are just like, oh well, the guy's under 40%, so I gotta cast Healing Touch. My heal over time isn't gonna get him up fast enough. You know what I mean? So, but most of the time, a lot of people are above 90%. So I run Flourish. I try and keep them above 90% because, like, say that you have Abundance over here, and then you have this or whatever, and then you have your Tree of Life or something, and then everybody's above 90%, you're not gonna need Abundance. You're not gonna need your 3 regrowths. There's no point in it. So I would just run the regular this. I plan for everybody to be above 90%. If they're not above 90%, and I try to heal him, and then some shaman heals him first, and then my heal's just over healing. It doesn't go towards my healing. It's over healing. So I just try and keep everyone above the 90%, and when they're not, just Trink, pop Tree and Trink. Because it increases all healing by 120%. You know what I mean? Or 15% increases all the healing done by 15%. So that affects everything. The Tranquility's best done in this, you know what I mean, in the Tree of Life. So that's my oh shit buttons. Sorry for cussing again, but still, those are my buttons. Tree of Life, Tranquility. You could go Tree of Life, Moment of Clarity, but that's it's not my preference. Only for Pugs. And if anyone else has any information that they'd like to share, or their own combos that they've felt that worked for them, then feel free, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you.